heard them sing, he paid the price and Jesus bore it all. I've heard them sing, I'm coming home, and heed the master's call. I've heard them sing the modern songs and songs of long ago. But amazing grace, so sweet the sound, is the sweetest song I know. Amazing grace, so sweet the sound, oh how sweet is the sound. No sweeter sound, sweeter song in this life could be found. Heard about the Savior's blood, washed as white as snow. But amazing grace, so sweet the sound, is the sweetest song I know. It was the song my mother sang in sweet and humble voice. Like music from the world above, it made my soul rejoice. Its soothing words and melodies like the rippling waters flow. But amazing grace, so sweet the sound, is the sweetest song I know. Amazing grace, so sweet the sound, oh how sweet is the sound. Sweeter song, yes song I know. But amazing grace, so sweet the sound, is the sweetest song I know. But amazing grace, so sweet the sound, is the sweetest song I know. The sweetest, most wonderful song I know.
Hope Channel, changing lives.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to yet another episode of Healthy Living on Hope TV. It's been a while since we met, and I know that even in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic, you are still keeping safe and taking good care of yourself. Yes, there's much that we need to do to all help fight against this pandemic. I know that you are still washing your hands under running water with soap. You are still wearing your face mask. You are still keeping your social distancing. And that is a very good thing to do so that you help all of us collectively to fight against this COVID-19. Once again, we are here to give you nothing but the best, to educate you on the matters that are around us and affecting us in various ways. We'll be discussing stigmatization today, because in this era of COVID-19, a lot of stigmatization issues are coming up, and we need to talk about it and educate ourselves how we can help each other to fight and also prevent this issue of stigmatization. I have with me here she says I should say only one a very experienced person. She's the principal of the Nurses and Midwifery Training College, Pantang. She's in the person of Madame Mercy Ajo Poku. She's coming to help us to understand and also talk to us about stigmatization and how to prevent it. She's very passionate about women empowerment and also health education. Auntie Mercy, you are welcome.
Thank you.
I see that you are very ready, and we are going to have fun. Right, okay. Before we start off, we'll go for this quick break. When we come back, the discussion begins. Do not go anywhere, stay tuned.
Ebre and don a etise emu. And the say utumi nya apomden sonko na mso metumi nya apomden sonko
na yɛtumi abɔ mu asom onyame ɛwɔ sonko kwan so ɛsan sɛ apɔmuden ehia na etumi boa nipa mpuntuo nyinaa nti no na ɛboa ɔman nti no Hope TV ayɛ nhyehyɛ sonko ɛde ɛnadu 10 days health campaign ɛde ɛbrɛ wo a saa dwumadi a ɛba so yɛ besua enema bebre afa yɛ pɔmuden ɛko na megye sɛ ɛbɛboa wo amonya nsakyera yɛ sonko bi ɛwɔ pɔmuden emu na asanya boa ama wo ahoden foforo bi ama wo de asom nyame enema ɛwɔ dwumadi no mu no ebi ɛyɛ adwendwen ho asɛm stress yɛbɛka ɛko asɛm yɛbɛka biribi afa COVID19 ɛko yɛbɛsan ɛka biribi afa ensuo ɛko na yɛsan ɛka biribi afa enuane bi a sɛ yɛdi a ɛwɔ nipadua enuane bi a yɛdi a ɛmɔ yɛ nipadua bɛtum de yare abrɛ yɛn na dwumadie bɛkɔ na wie na dun kɔ na wie yɛ no wobɛte nneɛma bebree ase nyankopɔn hyira wo paa ɛbrɛ wo yɛ ahoboa sɛ ɛnadua di anim ɛwɔ meyɛ mu yɛde saa pɔmden kyerɛkyerɛ ɛbrɛ wo ɛwɔ Hope TV so yi ɛma werɛ mfi sɛ wobɛbɔ wo nua amanneɛ sɛ dwumadie sɛ bi ɛde anim ɛba onyankopɔn ɛnhyira wo.
Hello and welcome back from the break. If you just joined us, this is Healthy Living on Hope TV. You've not missed anything because we are yet to start with the discussion. As I said earlier, we are discussing stigmatization in this era of the COVID-19 pandemic. And I have with me here, as I introduced her earlier, Madame Mercy Adjo Poku. She's a principal for the Nurses and Midwifery Training College in Pantang. And she's here to help us understand better the topic for discussion today. You can join us as always on our social media platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. You can also send in emails. You can send your comments, your questions via our WhatsApp platform. Auntie Mercy.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
I like your cloth. You look very beautiful.
Same here. You're also looking fine.
Thank you. So how has it been for you as a principal of a nursing school? Like, how is it?
Thank you for the opportunity. Being a principal is challenging but rewarding.
Okay.
Yes. Just as you mentioned, I like women empowerment. And I like health education. Okay. So I think I have the two in being the manager of a nursing training college, nursing and midwifery training college. So there I have a lot of women to empower, to become independent, to become achievers, to become assertive, which is very important.
Right.
So that they know what they are about, set goals for themselves, and do everything to achieve it, trusting in God to help them through the journey. Right. And then because they are, or the school is a health training institution, then again I have a place to do health education.
Right.
While teaching my students to do health education, then I'm setting the right example for them as we go about our teaching and learning. Then I'm achieving the two, isn't it?
So it's like you're killing many birds with one stone,
exactly.
Right? Okay. Exactly. So to our topic for discussion today is stigmatization. We hear of it a lot in our everyday lives, but I think we are hearing of it a lot more when this COVID-19 pandemic came in. That is why we want to talk about it, to make people aware and also help to prevent it.
Exactly.
So when we say stigmatization, or what at all is it about?
Stigmatization actually is big, but I would like that we draw on stigmatization in the context of health.
Right.
So stigmatization in the context of health, we mean when someone negatively associates a person or a group of persons who share the same characteristics with a disease. So you are doing a negative association between the person and the disease, or the group of persons who share the same characteristics end the disease. So in this stigmatization, what you are doing is that you are labeling people, you are stereotyping people,
Yes.
and you discriminate against people. And when these things happen, then it makes the control that we put in place to prevent the spread of the disease, and in this particular case, the COVID-19, very difficult.
Yes.
Very difficult because you are stigmatizing the people through the labeling, through the stereotyping, through the discrimination. This has dire consequences on the control of the COVID or whatever outbreak, but in this case, our COVID-19. And that is why we need to talk about it. We need to discuss it and see how we can prevent stigmatization at all levels in the healthcare delivery.
But I would like to ask, in what specific situations do people usually stigmatize others? Because we know a lot of issues where people stigmatize, but specifically, are there peculiar issues where people...
Yes, we have already mentioned COVID-19,
yes,
because it is an infectious disease.
Right.
So with many communicable diseases, I can readily mention TB.
Yes.
HIV is when people are infected and affected with TB, with HIV. When people are come home, readily come to mind is our people suffering from mental conditions. We stigmatize these people also. And sometimes when people are born disabled, either blind, either they cannot talk or crippled, those situations, probably because we really do not understand what goes into what is happening to them, the signs of it. So it is easy for us to stigmatize these people, saying they and not us, the others, not we.
Right. But how do people do it? You know, some people may be stigmatizing, but they will not be aware.
Exactly.
So what are some of the things that people do that shows that they are actually stigmatizing against people with maybe a particular disease or a particular kind of thing? Because we need to touch on that.
Yes, I had mentioned that when we label people, so the COVID-19 case, that girl with the COVID, those cases that we have identified with COVID. So instead of addressing them by their titles, we associate the disease with them. So we reduce their dignity. We don't mention their name. So we said the COVID girl.
Yes.
But they have not done anything wrong.
Yes.
For having the infection, they have not committed any crime. So when we label them, then we are going through the process of stigmatization. When we stereotype them, these people in this community, they are the people being affected. The Wuhan disease.
Yes, the China virus.
The China virus. Then you are stereotyping the group or a whole country, an ethnicity, or a nationality is being stigmatized because unfortunately the disease was discovered in their community. Or we say they have the disease, it's because of their way of life. It's because of the way they behave. It is not possible that we will have the disease in our community. Our community is a gated community. We are very, very simple people. We clean our community, we do this, we do that. so the disease cannot come to us. So it is for these people. Then we are stereotyping. Then we discriminate. All this will lead to the discrimination. Because you have the disease, sometimes we deny people even their basic rights. The right to education.
Yes.
She is blind. So what is he going to do in the class? She's crippled. How can she join us when we are doing athletics? So we discriminate against them because of the situation they are in, and they are denied of basic needs. You don't come to my shop.
Okay.
Because when you come, you are likely to infect me. So that item that the person is going to buy, let's say for food, then it means the person is not going to get the food.
Right.
Because we think when the person enters our shop or our mat or into our house, everybody becomes infected. And these are human rights issues. Because you cannot deny anybody for having HIV. You cannot deny the person the right to be educated, the right to water, to food, to light, to education, because she has HIV, because she has COVID-19, because she has TB. When we do that, we demean people.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
If you do not understand what is happening to the person, you would think that it is only he or she that can get into that situation. I cannot get into that situation. If you are exposed to the information, probably you understand that it's not their fault. And you cannot put yourself in a capsule and say that that cannot happen to me. So the insufficiency of knowledge is one factor. Yes. Particularly for COVID-19, it's a new disease.
Yes.
All over the world. And so we are now looking for information. So probably what we have now may not be enough. And so there is fear of the unknown.
Right.
And so because we are afraid, we cannot predict tomorrow how the disease is going to behave. So then we want to protect ourselves by saying that it is they, not. And these frights or the fear, the lack of knowledge or the inadequate knowledge that the disease is new is what actually others think, or many think, is fueling the stigmatization. So if we have to deal with stigmatization, we'll have to look at these so that we remove fear and put faith, trust in its place.
Okay, so
and we remove ignorance and put knowledge in its place.
Okay.
And then we treat others with empathy. It can be me, it can be you, it can be anybody. So when we do this, then we are tackling stigmatization.
Right. I know that this stigmatization issue is very huge, and in as much as it affects the person being stigmatized against, I know that even the person stigmatizing another person, it also has an effect on that person, as well as
everybody,
the people around
everybody.
them. Can you touch a bit on that?
Stigmatization doesn't affect only them. It affects all of us. Because one, the person that you are stigmatizing as a result of labeling, stereotyping, and discriminating, the person is likely to go into hiding out of the fear that I don't know how I'll be treated
or received.
Exactly. So when the person has signs and symptoms of the person feel unwell, instead of running to the hospital, like our nation is managing it.
Yeah.
There are numbers that you just call if you feel unwell. The person will not do that. So the person will go into hiding. So when she hides, probably she has family. She's with her family members. So at the moment that she's hiding, and let's say she's positive to COVID-19, then she's infecting everyone that she comes into contact with. She's likely also to come to the hospital only when there are complications.
Right.
Only when she's having difficulty in breathing. In this case, COVID-19. That's when she comes. She is likely to come to to seek the medical attention. By the time she comes, there is pressure. Kofi does it, Abna does it, Ajua does it, Kweku does it. By the time they come to the hospital, there is pressure. So instead of one person coming, we have 4, 5, 10, all coming at the same time. And when they do that, there is pressure on our health system.
Right.
There is pressure on the healthcare workers. There is pressure on everyone responding, those procuring our PPEs, the nurses and midwives that are attending to us, the doctors that must write the prescriptions, the lab officer or the lab technician who must really look at your samples and say, yes, you tested positive to COVID-19. The pressure is on this limited number of healthcare providers just at a go. Again, advancing it means that our government, our institution must spend the money that should have been used for other things to procuring the PPEs, to pay the people that are going to be exposed by attending to us, just like our government has done. They are going to be paid extra. So if the person did not hide and came early, it wouldn't have gone to that level where extra effort must be made to help solve the problem.
Right. Thank you so much for that. We'll go for this quick break. When we come back, our discussion continues. Stay tuned.
Mommy! For 2 months, we've been staying inside.
Robiłyśmy wszystko, żeby nasze dzieci i wnuki były zdrowe.
Ihr seid für uns zu Hause geblieben, für unsere Sicherheit und damit wir gesund bleiben.
Ma ora che la festa della mamma si avvicina?
And we have a question for our children.
Particularmente a nuestros hijos.
Desde que você era bebê,
we fed you.
แม่ต้องอยู่ดูแลลูกทั้งคืนเลย
Quando estava solo. When you are sick.
Wenn ihr Angst hattet.
We were there to pick up the pieces when your heart was broken.
Sempre lavamos sua roupa.
I sprzątałyśmy twój pokój.
Sí, limpiamos tu cuarto.
ตลอดเวลาเลย
All the time.
So... Perché non chiami tua madre?
Why don't you call your mama?
¿Por qué no llamas a tu mamá?
Mom.
แม่
Oh, kom schon, Mama.
Mamo, jestem zajęty.
Sono impegnato.
Working.
Estoy muy ocupado con el trabajo.
Busy with school.
Mas mãe, eu liguei pra você um dia desses.
Isto foi há 2 semanas.
Ah, é?
I call Mom every day.
Thanks, honey, for calling.
You see, she calls me.
โทรหาแม่สิลูก
Llama a tu mami.
Proszę. Jest Dzień Matki.
It's Mother's Day.
Es ist mein Tag.
Guarda, che lo dico a tuo padre.
No me hagas llamar a tu padre.
Call your mother before I find a way to fly out there and...
I'm busy doing what you taught me to do.
Aby dobrze wykonywać swoją pracę.
Mein Bestes zu geben. Per essere un buon padre.
To be a caring mother.
To raise my children properly.
เพื่อจะช่วยเหลือคนยากไร้
Para hacer una diferencia positiva en este mundo.
Thank you, mother. Gracias, mamá.
Thanks, Mom.
Obrigada por sempre estar comigo.
Danke für all das, was du getan hast.
Mamo, kocham cię.
Ti voglio bene. Te amo. Happy Mother's Day.
Feliz Día de las Madres.
Happy Mother's Day.
สุขสันต์วันแม่ค่ะ
Hello again. Welcome back from the break. If you just joined us, this is Healthy Living on Hope TV with me, your host, Bibi. As I said earlier, we are discussing today stigmatization in relation to the current pandemic, that's the COVID-19. We've spoken so much about it, and we're going to continue. We've looked at what stigmatization is, why people even stigmatize, what are the kinds of things we do that are really stigmatizing against people. Now we will be talking about how to address this issue of stigmatization. So Auntie Mercy,
yes,
how can we address this issue? Because I know that this is a very important point. We need to look at it and help educate others to address this issue of stigmatization and I think reduce these reports and all these things. So how do we address the issue of stigmatization?
Thank you very much. Abby?
Yes.
Yes. There is so much empirical evidence that shows that fear, anxiety, hamper any response to solve any problem. And particularly of COVID-19, there's so much fear.
Yes, yes. People are
there's
so scared.
Much anxiety.
I'm afraid I will get it.
Exactly.
And all that.
We are afraid to join the public commercial vehicles. I tell myself I rather want to walk so that there is the air that is circulating around me is fresh air. These days when I go to the office, I don't want to put on the AC because of the small little readings that I've done connecting the infection. When there is AC on, there is aerosol that can be transmitted, the aerosol of the infection. Or when people cough, people talk, the organism is suspended in the air for some time before
breathing.
Exactly, and it is worse when there is an AC. So I'm afraid to put on the AC.
And I think other people to share the same.
So this fear, if not well managed, can even hamper or can disturb the process or all that we should do to tackle or prevent the spread of the infection, which is also associated with the stigma. Because the more people get infected, the likelihood that the stigmatization is also going to increase. And so we'll have to tackle the fear aspect especially. How do we do that?
Right, I was coming to that.
How do we do that? Yes. We learn that we can do that by building trust. From the health system, from the media houses, from any medical person who has knowledge, enough knowledge about what it is right now. Our opinion leaders, our traditional leaders, but critically the health system. Because then when the person comes to the hospital and believes that I am going to be treated with respect.
Yes.
Irrespective of
what kind of disease I have.
And in this case, the COVID-19, that people will not shun me even at the hospital or wherever I go to seek for help. I will not be treated as case.
Okay.
Those who just returned. You see, even these days, there is that thing that we are all saying. Now you can say that you return from
outside the country or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Those days people could brag.
I know.
I just returned.
Yes, you know, I'm a bugger, kind of.
These days you cannot do it. It's all part of the fear. Also show empathy. It is not their fault that they are positive to COVID-19. They have not committed any crime.
Yes.
And that is why they are COVID-19. Perhaps when they traveled, they were going to bring business into our nation. Perhaps when they traveled, they went to study, to improve their capacity, to come and support for our nation to develop. So it's not their fault. So it is important that we show empathy to everybody who is infected and who is affected. Because if you are infected, your family members are also affected somehow, because then they need to do things extra. They need to spend money, do this, call in, make calls. All these influence how we relate to the people. So it is important that we show empathy at home, at workplace, wherever we find ourselves, to people who test positive to COVID. And then also we'll have to try to understand the disease.
The disease,
It's a new one. So actually we can pat the shoulders of the higher institutions in Ghana and even the healthcare centers, because research is going on. So the more we do the research, the more we understand the behavior of the condition. And then because we understand, we have a little power to predict how the disease is going to behave, and then we can put measures in place to prevent anything that will worsen the situation we are in already. And then we learn to adopt practical ways or change our behaviors. You know,
like
we need
happening
to change our behaviors. Kudos for all the places that when you go, I entered here and you asked me to go and wash my hands. You did not care whether I am the principal. You just asked politely, kindly go and wash your hands. I can see sanitizers around. So we need to adopt those things everywhere. It shouldn't be like they are opinionated, they are too much. So it is something that we should all do.
We are all adjusting to.
Adopting those things. Have hand sanitizers and be cleaning, just like we are doing. The media houses are also promoting it so much. Like you began with, that we should wash our hands, we should cough into our elbow or into a tissue, and straight away we dispose them. Wash our hands frequently under running water with soap.
And then social distancing.
All these things, when we are all involved and we are doing it the way we are doing, why are you thinking that that person is affected because he's behaving the other way that you are not behaving? Then you understand that is a collective thing that we all must do.
It's not just Ghana government or government
or the
health
government
workers.
is somewhere. And we are the others who are likely not to be infected. When we ever think that we are likely not to be infected, I think that alone is a recipe for disaster.
I know, right? Let's talk about, I know that mostly when people discriminate or they may either say certain things, all right, or behave verbal or non-verbal. So we go to communication. Does communication help in addressing the issue of stigmatization?
Absolutely.
Right.
What we are doing here is communication. And so it is important that we can say use the right words.
Words, right.
We'll have to use the right words. We'll have to have certain kind of messages.
Okay. Okay.
Intentionally created.
Okay.
So that when we are communicating about COVID-19 or any other situation, condition that people are likely to be stigmatized, we carefully and intentionally use those words.
Okay. Okay.
So that people don't feel demeaned.
Or stereotyped.
People don't feel stereotyped.
Okay.
And people that will make you part of the struggle that we are all in to fight against the spread of the infection. So, for example, instead of the COVID-19 girl, we have mentioned it. We can say the patient or the person that was treated for COVID-19. The person that has tested positive to COVID-19. The person that has died from COVID-19. Instead of saying the case. We had also mentioned that instead of saying the Wuhan disease, we can just say COVID-19 because it was even carefully put together. The COVID-19 because they want to avoid stigmatization. That's why they carefully put it together as COVID-19. And that is why, so it is important not to say the COVID case, but the one suffering from COVID-19. Communication is very, very important. So we can also correct misconceptions. There are a lot of misconceptions. When you open your phone and the WhatsApp,
social media, everyone is just posting anything.
Anything.
It may not be facts.
They are not. Some may not be
facts. Exactly.
And so you don't just post everything that like comes to your phone. The information is on Ghana Health Service website.
Yes.
If you really are looking for it, just the click of the button of your phone, you get to the site.
Or even the World Health Organization.
The World Health CDC. They are there. Plethora of the information, it is there. So we rather look for the information there rather than just putting out everything to cause fear and panic and then also stigmatize people, you know. So we will also have to promote the prevention aspect of the COVID-19. It is important that we don't even get to the stage where we are infected.
Right.
So we do everything. When you listen to the president yesterday, he reiterated it. We should eat well. He mentioned our local foods.
Exactly.
He mentioned our local food. You don't need to even buy anything expensive.
It's just around us. The everyday things that we've been eating.
So the media can also push that agenda of people eating healthy foods. Like we have said, healthy living.
Yes, healthy living.
Yes.
We have to eat healthy.
Yes, take a lot of water, take a lot of sunshine, do a lot of moderate exercises.
Yes.
The media must champion this message. The media must champion this message. We have to support people who, or let's say encourage people who show support in diverse ways.
Yeah.
The government has even opened an account,
a fund,
exactly, where people can donate into. It is
support.
To support. People are sharing foods.
Yes.
It should be encouraged.
People are sharing PPEs.
People are sharing PPE. Exactly. At the next door, your next door neighbor, who may not even have probably that one bag of 5 grams.
Of rice.
Kilograms of rice. If you have, you give to that person. So if the person is even infected, you don't know. So that act of showing kindness, the person will understand that, oh, even without asking, this person has brought me
reached out.
That act alone destroys stigmatization.
It breaks
the chain.
Yeah, we have one comment from one of our viewers. He said, "Good evening. The issue of stigmatization is very real. Even people with COVID-19 stigmatize against each other. In one of the isolation centers in Ghana, people who had tested first negative, awaiting second tests, prevented health professionals from admitting new people to their block. Even though they had separate rooms, they even locked the doors to block the amazement of everyone." This discussion is very good. This is from one of our viewers. And then we have one from our brother Kobe Kandi. He says, "Good evening, Ghanaians. We pray to God that He will help us come out of this pandemic." Thank you very much. You can also send in your comments or questions to our WhatsApp line 0559680066. You can join us. We are on Facebook Live. You can also watch us on YouTube. We'll go for this quick break. We shall be right back. Do not go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Ebre ene don a etise emu. Ese se utumi nya apomden sonko na mso mitumi nya apomden sonko. Na yetumi abomu asoso nyame ewo sonko kwanso. Esanse apomden ehia na etumi bua nipa mpuntu nyina ntino na eboa oman ntino. Hope TV aye nchehye sonko e de enadu 10 days health campaign e de ebre wa sa dwumadi a ebaso ye besu enema bebre afa ye pomden ekon na megidi se ebeboa wo amonya nsakira ye sonko bi ewo pomden emu na asanya boa ama wa hoden fufuro bi ama wo de asom nyame enema ewo dwumadi anu mu no ebi aye adwendwen ho asem stress ye beka ekon asem yebeka bribi afa COVID-19 ekon yebesen aka bribi afa ensuo ekon na yesen aka bribi afa enuane bia se yedia ebuo nipadua enuane bia yedia emmo ye nipadua betum de yare abre yen na dwumadie beko na wie na dwin ko na wie ye no oh beti niam bebrase yakopon hira wo pa ebra wo ye ahobo se enadua die nim ewo meyem yade sa pomden chirechire ebra wo ewo Hope TV so e ma remfi so bebo nua mane ye se dwumadie se bi e de anim eba onyankopon enhira.
On Monday, April 27, 2020, the President of the Southern Ghana Union, on behalf of the Church in Ghana and its institutions, Adventist Development and Relief Agency ADRA, Advent Press, Valley View University, Ghana Adventist Heritage Fund, and Hope Channel donated 100,000 Ghana cedis to the National COVID-19 Trust Fund.
And commend the government for the efforts put forth to deal with the situation. As a church, we have been praying that the Lord's intervention would help. In fact, 32 days down the line, we had declared 100 days of praying. We pray that the Lord's blessings will be on you. We appreciate the good work you are doing. We hope that your efforts and the favor of God will help solve this problem for us.
Receiving the check, the chairperson of the Trust Fund, Justice Sophia Kufu, had this to say.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees of the COVID-19
National Trust Fund. I received this check with a lot of gratitude. We thank you, and I thank you on behalf of the people of Ghana for the money and also for the continuing prayers.
Present at the presentation were Pastor Lawrence Andrews Ewu of Encounter with Truth, Dr. Williams Papo Brown of the ADRA Ghana, Nia Iti Harmon of Hope Channel Ghana, and Dr. Solis Asafo, Communication Director of the Church.
Hello and welcome back from the break. If you just joined us, this is Healthy Living on Hope TV, and we've been discussing stigmatization in terms of the current pandemic, that's the COVID-19. We've spoken at length, and now we spoke about how to address this issue of stigmatization. Our guest made us understand that we need to communicate in a very good way, not to stereotype people or discriminate against people, and that is where we left off. If you have any questions or comments, you can send it to our WhatsApp line, that's 0559680066. You can join us on Facebook Live as well as on YouTube. You can also send us an email if you have any questions or comments. So Auntie Mercy, I come back to you. We spoke about communication. Are there any other ways that, in regards to communication, that we've not touched on?
I think it is important that we add or we congratulate the media houses. They are doing extremely well.
Fantastic job.
Yes, they are doing so. Kudos. God bless you.
Amen.
But that still we can do more by amplifying the voices of victory. So it means that the person had the person was treated for COVID-19. The person is healed
as well.
Tell that story.
Okay.
Let the person come. Tell us about this victory. We want to share in that victory. Then we'll know that Abena can conquer or can overcome. Kwajo can also overcome. And even if I have it, I can also overcome. Those voices must be heard.
Okay.
It is also important that we tell the story about the COVID-19 infection without prejudice. So that if we talk it, we mention region A, let's mention region Z.
Okay.
Let's mention region D. Region A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, region 1, 2, region 1, 4, region 5, and 6. They all have the infection. Just like our ministry is reporting.
Yes, okay.
So the media houses should also do the same. And then how the infections are coming in, how they are recovering.
Okay.
How the struggles are with the people in region A, how the struggle is for the people in region B. So if it's for this ethnic group, then you mention this other ethnic group. So you don't just talk about a particular group of people over and over again. So it means that we are all sharing in our pain and we are all sharing in our victory.
Right.
We can continue to use our social influences also.
Yeah.
Our pastors, our ministers, our religious leaders, our traditional leaders, all of them, because they have a following.
Yes.
And they will listen to them.
Right. That's
so it is important we do that also.
Right.
And then also we can also do ethical journalism.
Okay.
When we say ethical journalism, we are talking about standing against the stereotypes. So even we as the media people, we choose our words well, and refer to the patients appropriately.
Yes, sure.
Tell that story the facts.
The facts.
Not sensationalism.
Yeah.
No, this one can make people call into my station.
Yeah.
I should ask myself, what did I add to myself?
Exactly.
And so, as listening, looking for facts, not sensationalism.
I know.
I came up.
Yes,
I put this thing together, and it will come in handy.
Yeah.
Any particular ethnicity or nationality.
Okay.
Starting with the C.
Yeah.
Then the O. Only share accurate information. Then M. Maintain privacy and confidentiality of those seeking health care.
Okay.
Then P.
Yeah.
Participate, encourage, and share the need for social support.
Okay.
Appreciate healthcare workers and all the people who are responding to COVID-19. Speak out against negative behaviors, statements, and also share it on social media. Show empathy to people who are affected by COVID-19. They have not done anything wrong.
Yes, that's right. And then the I.
Increase awareness about COVID-19 without increasing fear.
Fear and panic. Then we come to O.
Offer compassion. Being kind is being human.
Right. And then the last one is the
never refer to people with the disease as COVID-19 cases. Rather, people who are being treated for COVID-19. Thank you. So anytime compassion comes into your mind,
you think of something to
you
reduce
think you are preventing stigmatization.
This is a very wonderful one. I have to do Baba with it so that I'll be walking around and telling people about it.
Compassion.
Thank you so much. We've learned a lot. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you so much. And we know that when we call on you again, you come and help us to teach people and educate the general public.
The smallest difference. Is important.
Right. All right, to you viewers, thank you so much for making time to watch this show, Healthy Living on Hope TV. We are on your screens every Monday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can still send in your questions or comments to our WhatsApp line 0559 680066. You can join us on Facebook or on YouTube. You can also send in your emails. Let's not forget that the COVID-19 pandemic is still with us, but we have a part to play. You and I need to work towards preventing the disease from affecting us. And we know a lot of it. Wash your hands regularly under running water with soap. Sanitize your hands if you are not close to running water and soap. Practice social distancing. No hugs, no kisses, no pegs, the elbow shake or whatever. You need to do that. And we need to pray because God is the author and finisher of our faith. He's the Alpha and the Omega, and He can do everything that is possible to help us come out of this. Let's not be afraid. Let's read more and research more, and we'll come out of it victorious. This has been Healthy Living with me, your host, Bibi. Thank you for watching. Take care and good night.
Every and a don are at say emu. As I say to me, Apomdin Sonko, Namusumi to me, Apomdin Sonko. A yet to me, Apomu Asum Yame, I was Sonko Panso. A sansa Pomdi, a yane to me, one puntu and Tino, na a boa or Mintino. Hope TV, I yan share Sonko at the end of 10 days health campaign at the Ebrewa. Sa Jumadia Ebasu Yebesu and Yama Bebre after your Pomde Apon. Na mejidi se ebe wawu amwanya nsachira yesu kumbi ewo pomde emu na asanya wawu ama wahode mfufro bi ama wode asum nyame enema ewo dwumadie no mu no ebi aye adwendwen ho asem stress yebeka eko asem yɛbɛka biribi afa COVID-19 ɛho yɛbɛsan aka biribi afa ensuo ɛho na yɛsan aka biribi afa nnuane bi a sɛ yɛdi a ɛboa nipadua nnuane bi a yɛdi a ɛmmoa yɛ nipadua bɛtumi de yare abrɛ yɛn na dwumadie bɛkɔ na wie na dun kɔ na wie yɛ no wobɛte nneɛma bebree ase nyankopɔn nhyira wo paa ɛberɛ a woyɛ ahoboa sɛ ɛnadua di anim ɛwɔ meeyɛ mu yɛde saa apɔmuden kyerɛkyerɛ ɛbrɛ wo ɛwɔ Hope TV so yi ɛma werɛ mfi sɛ wobɛbɔ wo nua amanneɛ sɛ dwumadie sɛ bi ɛde anim ɛba onyankopɔn ɛnhyira wo.
Hope Channel, changing lives.
What a privilege it is for us to meet once again. And this evening we will spend some time together on our evening devotion. I will now implore you to take your Bibles as we turn to the book of Psalms. We will read a verse from there and meditate on it this evening. Let us turn to Psalm 65 verse 4. The book of Psalm 65 and verse 4. Let us hear the word of God. Blessed is the man you choose and cause to approach you, that he may dwell in your courts. We shall be satisfied with the goodness of your house, of your holy temple. You know, in life we are faced with choices. Every other day we have to make a choice. We make a choice from the food to eat, what to drink, what to wear, who to be our spouse, who to be our friend, and even whom to give gifts to. Do you know that God makes choices as well? The psalmist tells us in today's reading that blessed is the man who thou, God, choose. Let me ask you, will you qualify to be chosen by God? Would God take you as a friend? Would he deem you to be his friend? And that you be brought before his presence and to stay with him? Would God choose you? What a privilege is it to be chosen by God and to be satisfied with his goodness. Remember Abraham, David, Moses, Daniel, and Paul. They were all chosen by God. There is nothing better in this life than to be chosen by God and to enjoy his goodness. Are you ready for God to choose you? Are you prepared to be God's friend so you can enjoy his goodness? Even as you rest tonight, may God reveal to you that you have been chosen by him and that you are special. And may you experience God's goodness because God has chosen you. Now, as we end tonight's devotional time together, my prayer is that the Lord will bless you and keep you. The Lord will make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you and your family. The Lord will turn his face toward you and grant you peace. Peace at home, peace in your workplace, and peace wherever you find yourself May God grant you peace throughout this night until we meet again tomorrow evening. Shalom. May God's peace be with you.
Hope Channel, changing lives.
Me